Welcome to the Fatherhood Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Pluff. Each week, we will cover various topics that dads struggle with in their fitness journey. I'll give you actionable steps that you can apply right away, not only to take back control of your own health, but so you're able to be a better example for your kids too. So the weekend can be a really tough time, especially if you're working on fat loss, because you work so hard during the week. And then on the weekends, you want to let yourself go a little bit. And what I try and work with my clients is always having a game plan for the weekends. But I think the real reason why people struggle on the weekends isn't because they're out of their normal routine, but it's more the fact that they demonize a lot of the foods that they like to enjoy. And so if you restrict yourself from pizza, if you restrict yourself from cheeseburger and beer and all these foods, and you in your head you label them as bad, then when you eat them on the weekends, you've deprived yourself the entire week, and so naturally you're going to eat more. And so a better strategy is to try and find a way to incorporate them in modest amounts throughout the week. So if cheese pizza or cheeseburgers or cheesecake, something like that, the whole entire cheese family, I can't blame you for wanting a lot of it because it's delicious, right? But if these are foods you have declared as bad, then on the weekends you're going to want to eat a lot of it. So throughout the week, instead of having 3 or 4 slices of cheese pizza, maybe have a piece or two, right? If you like cheeseburgers, maybe not have one every night, but have one once or twice. So then on the weekends, if you do go out to eat, you don't feel the need to get the double cheeseburger with an extra large fry and a large Coke, There's all these things that you can do to kind of set yourself up and take away that negative mindset of food. A lot of people, and I don't want to say most people, because there are a lot of people who do a great job with this, but I think it is very common, in fact, I know it is very common, that people have a poor relationship with food, where they label foods as good or bad. They look at salad, they consider it good. They look at cheeseburgers, they consider it bad. They look at chocolate, that is a bad food. They look at beer, they look at that as something that's not going to help them get to where you want to be. Now, although some of these foods are more nutritious compared to the others, it's just food. Food is food. It's neither good nor bad. And that's why I try and teach my kids is that we have sometimes foods, and then we have foods that we can eat more often. And when you make this mindset shift, you'll notice that on the weekends, you all of a sudden don't start struggling anymore. Because if you allow yourself to have a cheeseburger or a couple bites of cheesecake, I don't know why I'm on this cheese kick here, but for story purposes, it seems to be working well, so we're going to stay with it. But if you allow yourself to have a couple bites of your favorite foods, or just continue to eat it, just not as much, not go overboard, then you don't feel the need to go overboard on the weekends, right? If you're just sticking to salads and all these foods that you have labeled as healthy, then on the weekends, yes, you're going to let yourself go a little bit, and it's going to be much more difficult to eat within moderation. So the weekends can be a struggle. Getting out of your home environment can make it difficult for fat loss, but the bigger issue is not how you're eating on the weekends or where you're going or what you're doing, but more about how you're viewing things the rest of the week. That concludes this episode of the Fatherhood Fitness Podcast. Thank you for those of you who took time out of your busy schedules to listen. If you have any questions or comments or an idea for a topic for a future episode, please feel free to reach out, and I'd love to hear from you.